Have you ever considered what it would be like to stop thinking about you? Our entire life spent consumed by thoughts about ourselves. You know, you think about your appearance, your shitey moustache, your hair, which you should be wearing a hat on because it's getting like an afro. You want bigger muscles for you. You want a larger brain for you, a more intelligent brain. You want you to be a more articulate speaker. You want you to dress better. You want you to eat a better diet. You want you to have a sexier girlfriend. You want you to have high status so that people respect you. Every single thing that you do in your life is about you. And have you ever thought, what happens if I stop thinking about me? Is it possible? Is there a reality that exists outside of me? Well, in this here video, we're going to discuss exactly what that is, that reality that exists outside of you. Ladies and gentlemen and non-binary entities, are you not sick and tired of being you? Are you not sick and tired of looking at yourself in the mirror and worried about your problems and worried about your career, and if you're reading enough books and if you're working hard enough, if you're handsome enough and if you're being funny enough and if people are respecting your conversation, are you eating the right food, or are you shoving shite food down your throat, or are you getting up early enough, are you fucking this? It's exhausting. It's exhausting. Your entire life is spent thinking about you. Name me a single fucking thing that you do, a single thought that you have that is not in relation to you, to Jack, to your name, whatever your name is. Rashmi, Lakshmi, Haloma, that's not a name, Mohammed. What is it? Name a single thing that you do that isn't about you. Well, you could be saying, well, I work volunteer at a dog shelter, and I donate money to charity water, and I give money to the homeless, and I lost my leg fighting for my country. I know what it's like to do for work for something bigger than myself. Wrong. Sorry, wrong. Every single one of these things is just about you. Yes, you have better taste than someone who's doing things that harm the world around them for themselves. Much better taste than that, I'll agree. But ultimately, you're still behaving for you. You die for your country because in your mind, you want to be the person who's courageous and seen by others as valiant. You volunteer at the dog shelter because it makes you feel good. Everything you fucking do is about you. And I'll tell you a little story. Yesterday, I was in this you state of mind. I was thinking about me all the time. Me. I was worrying about something. My fucking hair's long, as you can see. And I went to a singing lesson. And I fancied the lassie that's doing the singing lessons with me. So I wore my little cap. And I was wearing this cap, and I had my, I was worried about my hair, and I was going like this, and is my hair okay? And I'm in my cap, and then I was worried about how the cap looks, and then I realised my cap was fucking stinking, and then I got a bit stressed about, is the cap stinking? And then I just get into that. This is fucking how my brain works, by the way. This is why I need all this shit. And then at the start of the class, there was so much tension in me that I couldn't do the singing properly. Singing involves complete relaxation of everything and connection with the person in front of you, or connection just to yourself. And the singing just wasn't working. And then I was like, okay, fucking hell, the only reason I'm wearing this cap is because I'm worried about how I'm going to look in my little bald spots to this lassie that I fancy, and whether she's going to fancy me. It's you. So I took the cap off, I flung it back, and I did the rest of the singing lesson. And I swear to God, instantly, when I took that cap off, when I stopped hiding, when I stopped thinking about me, when I stopped worrying about how I look in the eyes of other people, there was an instant change in the energy. I could even see a glint in the eye of the girl that was doing the singing. I was like, oh, okay, I'm here again. I'm not this like, me kind of character. That's how it works. That's how I've noticed it work in my life. And so here's the question, the $1 million question. Aren't you sick and tired of yourself, of worrying about your yellow teeth and your shaped moustache and your crooked jaw and your balding head and the fact that you don't have muscles and whether women are actually attracted to you, and if you're smart enough and if you're reading enough books? Are you not sick of worrying about this stuff 24/7? You're not sick of that being the entire content of your experience of life? Because I know that I was. It was fucking torture for me to live as Jack. It's torture for me to live through the prism of Jack. And the main thing is that it's so fucking petty. It's so small. It's so fucking pathetic. I would spend days of my fucking life, all that I'm thinking about, all that consume my thoughts is like, I think I'm getting crow's feet here, and that makes me look fucking old. Oh my God, I'm getting crow's feet. My life's ruined. Days of my fucking life, months, years of my life worrying about stuff like that. Every single fucking instant of my life, every single moment, from the moment I got up to the moment I went to bed, worrying like, oh my God, am I getting wrinkled? Oh my God, my life's ruined. The pettiest shit. And it's petty because it's only about you. The truth is that there is a world that exists outside of you. There is big questions to be answered in life. You know, what am I doing here? What is reality? What does it mean to exist? What is it to be aware? Fucking what is God? What's going on? There's 4 billion stars in the fucking sky and planets and a sun that gets up every morning and there seems to be sentient other beings around me and what is going on? These are the big questions. This is what you should be putting your fucking energy and your attention into. But most people aren't. Most people are like, oh, do I look good in this shirt? Oh, it's so fucking petty. And I'm speaking from personal experience. That's been my whole life. My whole life has been that. Until now. Until now. And I can tell you, now that I'm starting to free myself from the petty mind slowly but surely, free myself from the petty identity, it's also called the ego, Jack, this prism of my identity, this character I've built in my fucking head that I'm living through, which isn't reality. Now that I've freed myself from it, I feel like I'm getting access to some big fucking stuff. Sometimes, if I'm reading a book or if I'm meditating, I'll get flashes of downloads, let's call them, feeling, inspiration, knowledge that just comes to me in a flash about the nature of reality. It comes with a vision, with a feeling of like the magnitude of what it means to be alive, what it means to be aware on this fucking earth right now, here, today. And when I get it, it's so huge that my body physically purges. Like, I get a physical feeling like I get in ayahuasca that's like... Because that's what it's like when the fucking magnitude of reality, when the truth enters your physical system. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming to feel and get a taste of the true nature of reality. It makes your body go into a fucking spasm. If you've ever seen people on ayahuasca, it's you panic, you freak out. It's so big, but you can't see it most of the time. And I'm speaking for myself as well here, because most of the time your brain is consumed with the petty little problems of you in your life. That's the thing. So the question is there a reality that exists outside of the pettiness of your mind? Yes, is the answer. Let me show you. Let's do a little exercise if you're still here in this video. Take your hand. I got this from another YouTube channel. His name's Ascendor, by the way. It's a phenomenal exercise and I need to thank him for this. But I want you to take your hand and I want you to feel the feelings in your hand. Just think about the feelings that you can feel in your hand. Maybe there's heat, maybe there's tingling, maybe there's numbness. Just feel your hand just now. And now, once you've got a good grasp, I want you to find the place, find the person who is feeling the hand. Find the thing that is feeling the hand. Where is that? Is that your chest? Is that your head? Where is the person that is aware of the hand's sensations? Now, you might have said, well, it's my chest, so I want you to feel into your chest if that's the case. Or you might say, it's my head. I want you to feel into your head if that's the case. And then I want you to think, where is the person that is feeling the chest? Where is the person that is feeling the mind right now? The head. And you may notice that it's hard to find the person who is feeling the hand, or the chest, or the head. It's hard to find you. In fact, it's impossible to find you. It's impossible to find where this consciousness is. It's not in your hand, it's not in your chest, it's not in your head. Where the fuck is it? That's the truth. You don't know what it is, you can't find it. There is no you. There is no central point or central you that everything comes from. There is just sensation, thoughts and feelings happening in awareness through the prism of a body. That's it. That is the undeniable truth that all of religion is trying to help you get to. And it's called pure awareness. And when there's pure awareness, there's pure freedom. Because there's freedom from every single problem you ever had. You don't have to go through that fucking problem whack-a-mole that everyone lives in. Like, oh, I fixed my teeth and now I need to fucking get a new job and now I need to do this. Blah. Fucking problem whack-a-mole. No, there's pure freedom in pure awareness. Because when you're pure awareness, you realise that you are not you. You realise that this idea that you have of you, this Jack, this character that you've been playing, and all the fucking things that come along with that and having to make him look good and make him fucking funny and all this stuff. You realise that that's the greatest enemy you have in your life. That is the single enemy that stops you from being freedom. People talk about, the oppression of the state. The only oppression is the oppression of your own fucking mind. The oppression of this identity that you've come to live at. That's true oppression. Because think about it, if you don't exist, then who is there to feel depressed? If you don't exist, who is there to feel anxious? If you don't exist, who is there to feel miserable? No one. Therefore, it can't happen. I'm not saying these things don't bubble up into awareness. There's sadness when your mum dies. There's natural stuff. There's grief. But there's no suffering. There's no long-term suffering. There's pain. There's no suffering. Everything happens at arm's length because you realise it's not really happening to you. It just is happening. You become comfortable with anything that happens. It doesn't matter what happens because it is happening in awareness. It's not happening to you. It's just happening. And then you reach a state known as equanimity. That means that no matter what is happening, be it good, be it bad, be it peace, be it grief, you're okay with it because you recognise it's not you. It's just sensations, it's just thoughts, it's just feelings happening in awareness. And you are pure awareness experiencing that. That's fucking it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. So I want to leave you with the thought that can you imagine a world where you didn't worry about yourself all the time? Can you imagine a world where you woke up every morning and you were just in present reality without having to think about what am I having for lunch and what am I doing here and what's my career and oh my god that boss said this thing the other day and oh my god I need to do this speech tonight. What if you just didn't have to think about any of this stuff? What if you didn't? Imagine. Do the hand exercise. Try and find you. Realise you can't find you and then be like, oh, what am I worried about all these problems for? That person that I'm fucking thinking about in my head doesn't even exist. I'm just fucking awareness, kicking about here. Kicking a ball down a dusty lane, you know? That's it. And outside, after you've overcome this ego, the petty mind, the little you, that's when you get to the good stuff. That's when you get to, I'm just beginning this process. I don't know if I'm beginning this process. I'm just beginning to taste what it's like to live with no ego, to live outside of this self, to live away from the petty little me. And I can tell you what it feels like. I can tell you that it feels like I'm connected to something higher. It feels like there is something that is communicating through me. It feels like peace. It feels like freedom. It feels like everything that I could ever possibly need will happen. It feels like I'm going to get everything I could possibly ever want without trying. It feels like all the feelings that you want in your life. It feels like all the things you're trying to get, freedom, bliss, effortless manifestation, all these things. That's what happens when you get past the petty little self. You realise that you're pure awareness. Because in pure awareness, there is no pure awareness here and pure awareness over there. There's just pure awareness. There's oneness. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what people call God. So sinking into your awareness is the exact same as the experience of connecting with God. So thank you very much. All the best and cheers.